Hey everyone, it's Reldo here, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the Naval Commander class. The Naval Commander class is in fact the first class that I ever designed, so I've got a lot to say about this one. Now I'll keep that to the end of the video. What you need to know though is that the Naval Commander class is actually what's called a seasonal rare, meaning it only comes around at a certain time each year. That is Talk Like a Pirate Day, which is September 19th every year, and Quibble brings it. So if you don't have it now, unfortunately you've got to wait until Talk Like a Pirate Day 2015 or whatever year you're watching this in. And during September 19th you'll be able to go and buy it from him. Now, to buy it from him you need to either be a member or pay 2000 ACs and use it as a non-member. So those are your options. Generally Quibble sticks around for about 2 weeks each year when he does bring it, so you'll have plenty of time to grab it if you want it. For the Naval Commander class, you're going to want to go with a build that predominantly uses luck, possibly full luck. Luck's not going to change your damage all that much. You'll do a bit less, but not by much, so you don't really have to worry about too many negative effects of using full luck enhancements. Just go to the passives. You've got a crit chance that increases by 10% and a haste increase by 10% as well, so you'll be able to use your moves a bit quicker and do more damage. Now, the good thing about the crit chance is that it also increases your MP regen, more effective on crits. You restore MP by hitting enemies in combat and dodging them. So you might want to consider a little bit of strength or something with some dexterity, but predominantly I think you're going to want to go with luck. For ore enhancements, you can go with basically anything. Spiral Carve if you're really after the crits, or maybe a health vamp just for a bit of extra health, mana vamp to keep your moves going because you might have a little bit of trouble with mana here and there. It's basically up to you. Now, just as a reminder, I'm going with a fully stable damage range, so you're seeing the exact average of what you could hit. You could hit way higher, you could hit way lower. So just remember that when I use the moves. The Naval Commander class has both single target and multi-target moves. The first move is single target and then the rest are multi-target. First move costs 15 mana, has a 10-second cooldown. It's called Strike and Parry. Now, it will direct an enemy's attention to you for 8 seconds, so that'll take attention off your teammates. And you'll take 25% less damage for 6 seconds, so 2 seconds you don't have any changes to your damage, but the first 6 you do. So it's sort of a team thing. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. It doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but it can help your team. Your second move, Flintlock Barrage. Now this is the move you're going to be wanting to use the most. It 15 mana, 6-second cooldown, does a bit of damage to everyone. A bit more than your average auto attack. Now it also slows your enemy's attack speed by 20%, or your enemy's haste. So if you're using this in PvP, they'll take a bit longer to be able to offload their moves on you. You've got Commander's Rally now. This is the important one. This increases your dodge by 30%. Now, dodging will let you heal when you dodge, and it also gives you a heal over time. As you can see, that's 108. Ticks a couple of times. Also gives you a haste increase, so that's a 15% haste increase. Not only that, but that actually doubles with your passive, so you'll get a 25% haste increase while this move is active, which is quite nice. Just a reminder, the dodge buff only applies to you, not to your teammates. The dodge buff also lasts for 8 seconds, as does the haste buff. Now this move will heal up to 6 players, so it's quite generous. Finally, you've got Flintlock Fury. This one's called Commander's Rally, by the way. 25 mana and 12-second cooldown. But with the haste, and if you had another class hasting you, that should be quite nice. But Flintlock Fury, this is your large damage. As you can see, it's compared to the others, this one does do the largest amount of damage. But 30 MP, 15-second cooldown. It has a 50% chance to stun. Now, when it stuns everyone. This can be a bit of a problem because no one attacks you and you can't dodge to get mana. And obviously you take a lot of enemies now, you want that dodge buff and perhaps the decreased damage coming in. but it can be helpful. You're not really meant to use this class by yourself. I mean, obviously you can. As it is now, it's okay, but this class actually functions just like Paladin, High Lord, and Doom Knight Overlord. The more people in your party, the better. So I'll just show you how all that works now. So more or less how the party buff works is that for every person in the party, your power increases by 50%. So what this means is when you first start a party and have person number 2, your power will double because there's 2 of you and that's 50% each. And then that more or less keeps going upwards. So a move that used to do 77 damage now does significantly more. It crit, so I couldn't actually show you exactly how much it did. Okay, so it now actually does more than your auto attack, even though it only did 77 before. Flintlock Barrage now does 2.6k crits on full stable and 800 on the non-crit. Your heal has gone from 108 per tick to 379. Now that's a heal over time. Just a reminder about these, they can't miss. And your final move has become quite powerful, doing a 1.3k non-crit and even higher crit. So I'll just use these moves a bit more and that you have a good idea. As you can see, this class is definitely meant to be used in a group situation, especially when you can party up. That's the whole idea behind a commander, I suppose. Yeah, this was my first class. Now, it wasn't as good as this originally. There you go, 4.5k crits at level 60. It wasn't as good as this at first, and I did have to rework it a bit, and I'll talk about that now in the next segment. So normally this is the part of the video where I talk about what is good about this class and what is not. It's a bit different now that I've actually been the one to design it and make it. It's a bit harder to self-evaluate, and so that makes talking about it different. So I guess I'll talk more about the process behind it. But in terms of what this class is for, I think it's definitely a group class, it's a team class. Its moves are just designed to help out in a team, and it can kill stuff on its own in a party, so that's technically not on its own. If you want the most out of this, you will need a party, so bear that in mind. It does a lot of damage, and it fits in well with Paladin, High Lord, and Doom Knight Overlord. Now, I'll talk about production. Firstly, I think what let this down was the fact that a lot of people had big expectations for it. They heard Naval Commander, and that is basically a blockbuster each year for Talk Like a Pirate Day, so they had huge expectations, and people had different ideas. Some people thought of a Naval Commander as a more pirate type thing, with lots of dodge and speed, whereas others thought of a Naval Commander as a more militaristic, sword-swinging Superman. Yeah, more military, so more power and more strength, but less nimble. And then other people thought of it as a commander, a leader, and so therefore needing people to lead. And that's the approach I went for. Now, when you've got 3 different views of what the class is going to be, you can't please everyone. And other people built it up in some ways. You know, some people wanted it to be a huge solo thing, and obviously this has not become a solo class. Also, a lot of people were conflicted by the party mechanic, where you get more powerful the more people in your party. A lot of people wanted it to be removed, but just as many people who wanted that to be removed wanted it to stay. It is staying, and I mean, only 2 other classes in the game use it, and that's Paladin, High Lord, and Doom Knight Overlord, and those are hero mark classes. And this class partially was designed to give players who can't get hero mark products a chance at that party buff, because previously they weren't able to get it, and now more players can, so that's part of it. So we got that. It's interesting. If you don't like party classes, well, try any of the other classes in the game, because only 3 use it. So there was that. There was also the fact that this was my first class, and I was a bit unsure of what I was doing. I took a lot of advice from 2 other people, and some of the advice was good, and some of it was okay, and some of it sort of confused the class a bit. So that's why it had a warrior regen model initially, but such high dodge, which made the mana regen awful. It's just that 3 people coming together to make a class like that doesn't always work too well. So I don't think initially this class was successful. I learned I learned that actually the party buff, when people heard that it was a party class, they had high expectations for damage output. Initially, this class did about half the damage of the other party classes, which is by no means enough, and I realized that very soon after release, players expected huge damage, and it just wasn't as high as they'd wanted. So I scaled it up from 50% damage of the other two to 75-80, so that was basically a 50% damage boost, which a lot of players noticed. Some players didn't. So if you didn't get this class in September and you sold it straight away, try it again in September this year, and you'll find that mana regen's easier, and that your damage is much better. Should make it much more worth it. It's still not a solo class, just remember that. I'm trying to think if there's much else I learned that I can talk about. I think that, as I said before, with those other two helping me a bit, I lost track of the original vision, and I've discovered in this class design business that your original vision of the class is paramount to the success of the class. If you lose that original vision, it can really cloud the class and really cloud how it feels to use. The next 3 classes I did all had the next 2 had a very distinct vision. The 4th one I made, not so much, but it was not lost. I think it was still intact. But yeah, the original vision got lost in this. So I don't think the original version of this class is a success, but I am now happy and satisfied with the buffed version. So I think I'll leave it there. Leave your comments and questions and suggestions. By suggestions, I mean video suggestions, not so much class suggestions, in the comment section. And I'll see you next time. Hopefully I'm back for good. Bye.